So, can you now tell us about what is the difference? Like, okay, there is a human couple. Let's say it's a harmonious human couple. They're living on a material platform. This is case A. And case B is a human couple relationship that is not really self-centric, not really living on a material platform, but it's deocentric or theocentric. There is God. What is the difference? What is the difference in the geometry of a normal couple, let's say earthly couple, and an ascended couple that is spiritual or is in some form of religious achievement?
Well, I would say that it doesn't really depend on being engaged or not, or being a couple or not. Because the same is the case with an individual person. If you live according to the bodily needs and instincts and daily life, then we don't really perform and don't really touch the ultimate chance of human existence.
Mm-hmm.
But if we start to cultivate our spirit, then there is a much bigger chance to come to higher levels of achievements, realization.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Without realization, there is no real achievements. So if you live alone, or if you live in a family, if you have a partner, or if you don't have a partner, you have to do something about your own spiritual enlightenment. And if you make a step in the spiritual sense, you will be a better individual, you will be a better husband, you will be a better wife. You yourself can come closer to some very high ideal position, and from that higher level it will be easier to tolerate the shortcomings of life, the
material challenges.
The challenges or the shortcomings of myself or the other person involved. So therefore, either in a relationship or alone, spiritual growth, spiritual enlightenment is the major factor.
Mm-hmm.
But what is suggested in the Oriental traditions, that a husband should see a goddess in his wife,
Mm-hmm.
and the wife should see a god in her husband.
That's some form of meditation?
Of practical meditation. Practical meditation. But we need a training for that. Because when you see the weaknesses of your God, or the unexpected reactions of your goddess, you might think, hey, maybe he's not a god, maybe only a demigod. Or you might have a conception of, oh, wait a minute, this lady is not a goddess. But no, come back to the original principle. Yes, with all the shortcomings, he or she is my God and my goddess. Nobody can expect that life is without challenges or heavy failures, but spiritual growth means that we are able to give better responses to the challenges.
So, if I'm correct, we are living in a material world, trying to keep our relationship, exploring ourselves, trying to deliver to the other person and be of help and be of practical service, while we explore ourselves and grow into service. We practically invest more in what? We're bringing down divinity, right? So the geometry of effort and the geometry of invocation.
Yeah, therefore, for example, in the Indian iconography, you will always see partners.
Uh-huh.
Like Shiva as the male god, and Parvati as the beautiful goddess.
Mm-hmm.
Or Brahma, the ultimate intelligence in this universe, and Saraswati, the goddess of learning, his partner. Or Krishna as the ultimate attractive power, and Radha as the ultimate loving capacity. So always they think in unity, in harmonious unity. One side is the male principle and the other side is the female principle. Mm-hmm. So actually, therefore, it is suggested that see the male or female principle in your partner. Mm-hmm. Because then you can invite your ideal divine reality, you can invite in your through your meditation into your daily life.
That's practical sacred geometry, right?
We can say. And unity is a higher synthesis.
Mm-hmm.
One cannot go without the other.
So we have to go together.
Except for the ascetics, because they should, in human relationships, they should stick to their commitment.
Mm-hmm. You mean to divinity?
To divinity, but they should also have a complete picture.
Does this mean we don't have to be alone, or we have to always find a partner, or we can be complete by ourselves? What is an advice we can give to those who are not in a relationship currently?
Try to accomplish a quality search. Mm-hmm. A quality search. Because love is the best part of ourselves. So don't throw your loving capacity into the garbage. Mm-hmm. Don't underestimate yourself by treating your loving capacity badly. Mm-hmm. So try to find a real match where it starts to grow. But otherwise there is a proverb that if you don't know whether to start a journey or stay at home, and stay at home. Mm-hmm. If you don't know whether to enter the renounced order of monks or not, then don't enter. And if you don't know whether to find a partner or not, then try to find a partner.
Okay, thank you. And I think there was a question from one of our friends. Would you like to?
Yes, I have actually two questions. And this last part, it means that I can do alone, I can do with somebody this love. Doesn't matter that it's not a quality between these two, only just a dharma. That it means that I can be in a relationship or I can be alone. I can achieve my aim anyway, if I do the practice well.
Yeah, sure.
And this one is going back to the first question that you mentioned about the treasure in yourself, that you have to turn inside. There's a treasure there. What is treasure?
Treasure. So the first, your first question. Why relationship is so much necessary for most of the human beings? They say that human beings are social beings. Why? We always need a partner. We always need a match. We always need someone. Why? Because ultimately, in the our ontological position is that we depend on someone. We have a divine partner. This is God Supreme. So the souls, all the souls, have an original connection to the source, to God. And actually we all search for that original connection. We try to revive that. And we have to perceive that in our human relationships also. This is called ras. Ras is a taste, ras is an essence, ras is an emotional contact. And therefore, we all have an original ras. This is called the first taste.
Mm-hmm.
The first taste is the divine connection, right? And in knowledge of that, we have to try to accomplish our journey on this planet Earth. For most of the people, it is suggested they should enter into relationships because they can experience this selfless readiness and a higher harmony in that relationship. But if somebody has a different invitation from divinity, he or she can go in different ways. So this is not the only alternative for spiritual perfection. Just like renunciation will not bring all the fruits by itself. So these are not either or decisions, but some are invited like this, others are invited like that, but we all should try to accomplish our journey. And so we can say that everybody is invited and everybody can achieve perfection. In relationship, outside relationships, alone, in family, it doesn't matter. Because spiritual enlightenment and divine connection is a universal principle. It doesn't depend on our social status. Right? And therefore I think this is an answer to the second part of your question, that irrespective of our relative position, being a man or a woman or young or old or black or white, whatever, we can achieve something higher, some accomplishment, some inner contentment, because all these differences are on the relative platform. And on the spiritual platform there is the chance for inner fulfillment.
Can we say that it means a treasure, that it means that the contact is with us? Possibly we don't know about it, and we have to clean this view one way. Possibly in a relationship, possibly another way, but the contact is with us, just we don't know about it really. And we have to find a way to bring up this.
I think you're correct. And the treasure, we have three treasures. Not only one. The first treasure is that we exist. Existence by itself is a treasure. It's a chance. It's an expression of divinity, our existence. The second is our consciousness. That we can reflect on our existence. Just try to imagine such a situation when you cannot perceive, you cannot reflect on your existence. This is like a cucumber's life. So, one of the highest achievements of existence is consciousness. And what is the peak experience of consciousness? This is bliss. This is our third treasure. So the first treasure is that we exist. The second treasure is that we have a consciousness. And the third treasure is that through the existential consciousness you can perceive bliss. This is the third treasure.
Great. Thank you so much. And if you can be so kind to give some blessings to our friends in Paris and maybe some advice for this talk is coming to an end.
Well, we started with something quite theoretical, sacred geometry, and we ended with something very tasty, human relationships or spiritual relationships. And I think this was a real journey in this topic, in this field of sacred geometry, because from something external, so to say external, we have to come to something essential. And be good. Try to realize yourself. Try to invite the essential to your life and try to reflect it. That is another part of connection, that we have to reflect what we have got.
So our attention should be inwards, both in personal matters and relationship matters.
What is inward, what is outbound,
Sometimes
sometimes it's very difficult to say, to distinguish.
Yeah.
But I think on the very practical platform, first, but I give you 5 little pieces of advice, if you agree.
Yes, please.
The first is a realistic statement. Life is not easy. But the second is a hope, a gesture. But help is close. This is the second advice. Life is not easy, but the help is close. This is the optimistic part. And now comes a bitter pill. You are not the center of the universe. This is the third piece of advice. And then the fourth is a divine arrangement exists. And I think this turns the whole system into a more complete understanding. And finally, the fifth advice is that divine love is the way. So in that way, in that sense, from our own present conditioned situation, we can, following these advice, we can come to a hopeful accomplishment. Divine love is the way.
Divine love is the way. So we all like to thank you for coming and for sharing your energies and your inspiration and your experience. And, thanks to all of you who are present now, our friends and hosts in Paris. So if you have some additional questions, please take a note, and then we'll be able to ask, to give them to our benefactor, the Adept, and we really hope to see you soon. If you have some additional topics, or if you want us to throw some more light on any aspect or any part of what we just mentioned, if there is something more interesting to you, please make sure to write to us or to talk to us in person, and then we shall be glad to meet you. Okay?
So thank you very much for this section, and blessings to all.
Thank you. Blessings to all.